Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yet another week has zoomed right by in the pandemic COVID time warp. Today, we are going to attempt a look which, for all intents and purposes, will kick off my bad bitch summer. You know, kind of like hot girl summer, but better. And that is, if you haven't already read the title of this video, playing with some black eyeliner. If you've been following along since I started this channel, you've probably noticed that I have yet to use black eyeliner. I don't. I am pretty much a brown eyeliner user. I like more of a soft, kind of smoked out definition along my lash line, but today I just felt like doing something a little bit more different, a little bit more edgy, a little bit more bad bitch summer. So it's like as if I was going out maybe on a hot first date, which we know I am dying to do, theoretically at least. So I did my hair, gave myself some waves, wearing a cute choker, wearing a cute top. Now we just need the makeup to go along with the rest of the vibe, the rest of the mood. I have been listening to Taylor Swift's Reputation album this week, so like if that doesn't set the scene for you, I don't know what would. One thing I will say before we get right into it is that my bangs have decided to become sentient and as such have launched a rebellion against me. So if you notice them doing weird things throughout this video, just know it's not me, it's them, okay? They're doing something. It's really frustrating. So bangs are launching a rebellion and I'm gonna be a bad bitch. As per usual, we are also going to be discussing a topic today, and that is me launching my no-buy summer as well. So it's going to be a bad bitch summer and a no-buy summer. I'm putting away my debit card. We will get into that a little bit later, but without further ado, let's get into the makeup. Okay, so because the bangs are in a rebellious mood, I'm going to try pinning them off to the side and see how they cooperate from there. That might be a little bit better for me at the end when I try to put them back down. So my skin is doing okay, knock on wood. I just have this one little doop-de-doop here and some stuff on my nose, but that's very normal considering I'm coming on my period sometime within the next 3 or 4 days. Like, things are okay. I am going to be showing you guys a new complexion product, which I got last week and was totally influenced by Khaki. If you don't follow Khaki, please do. It's at, I think it's Khaki Reviews Beauty. She's Hey Khaki on Instagram. One of my favorite creators on both platforms. She's just incredibly intelligent, really brilliant, and I just really appreciate her makeup style because it's very in line with my makeup style. And she has been using this specific product for a while now, and in one of her recent videos in the last couple of weeks, she put this on her face again, and I was like, ah, hot damn, I gotta get that for myself. Me, the girl who doesn't wear foundation, who doesn't really do foundation, who has one foundation in her collection. But she totally sold me on this one and I purchased it, got it, and have not stopped using it since. And that is this gorgeous product from Typology, which is an Asian-owned French brand out of France, not Quebecois French. France French. And this is the tinted serum. And this is shade or type 3, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's a pretty decent shade match and it is absolutely divine. It feels so good on the skin. I have not explored the Kosas tinted face oil on this channel. This is what I hoped that would be. But the Kosas tinted face oil is very much like mineral pigment suspended in oil, and so my face would like absorb all of the oil and the pigments would just kind of sit on top, and it always just felt separate from my skin. I feel like there are people out there who have experienced something similar. This does not do that. So this is enriched with vitamin C, oil squalane, and aloe vera, all things which my skin love. Nice little dropper. It's a glass bottle. Just overall really wonderful. So I'm just gonna pour that into my hand. I don't use a lot. I don't need a lot. I just want something to kind of even out the skin tone. Just give a really nice smoothing. So I just gave myself a little bit more. I'm gonna rub it between my fingies. And then we're just gonna go in. And it feels so good on the skin. It really does just feel like a serum. And it has a scent very similar to that Australian Gold sunscreen I was telling you guys about and that I've used a couple of times here. Now that I've smelt this a couple of times, I want to say that the scent is almost like chocolatey. It's very pleasant. I don't believe it's an added fragrance. I think it's just the way that all of the ingredients together smell. Like, it's very natural and subtle. It's quite lovely, but as you can see, that just smooths out my skin tone. Like, it's just such a gorgeous complexion. It's very dewy. Obviously, before I put this on, I have all of my skincare on, minus the sunscreen this time because, again, it's nighttime and I just didn't feel like putting that on my face. But obviously it wears very, very nicely on top of that Garnier sunscreen I showed you guys last week. I have not tried it over top of the Australian Gold sunscreen because it's a matte and also because it's a tinted sunscreen, and I just don't know if those two things mesh well together. But overall, again, this product specifically is just delicious, and it does have its own like dry down. It doesn't stay really sticky or greasy on the skin. Like, it soaks in, and I really appreciate that. Next, I'm gonna go in and do my eyebrows, which we haven't been doing recently. You guys know in all of my last videos, I have been like, screw it. We're just gonna do soap brows, no color. No soap brows today. We're actually going to do our brows, and I am using the Kosas Air Brow. This is the shade Medium Brown. I have been flipping between this and the Glossier Boy Brow. I'm not really sure which I prefer, but this is okay. And I've found that if I do need more hold with this specifically, I don't go over top with the soap brow because I feel like that kind of wipes off some of the product. So I either will use that Got To Be gel or just the old hairspray trick. Just get a spoolie little hairspray. I like this color. I don't know, I've just been rediscovering how nice it is to like have kind of a filled brow, even though the bangs are coming down. I don't know what changed my mind. I was really feeling very off-put by the done brow. I just kind of wanted them glued. But we rediscovered this. You can see my ear is like not pink for the first time, so you can kind of see the color difference between my skin and my ears. My ears are always covered by my hair. It's like the difference in color between my hands and my legs, like my thighs. We're just like two different people. But there's definitely a little bit of a color difference there. By the end of the summer, there will not be. Okay, so I'm happy with the brows there. I haven't used this on camera yet, I don't think, but I do quite like it. And honestly, the packaging is such a big seller on this product. Kosas really did a phenomenal job. The rest of the products here are not new, so I'm just gonna kind of do my makeup. I'll show you what I'm using, but I really want to put the focus today on the topic of my no-buy. So I have been watching a lot of Hannah Louise Poston lately, and I don't know if you guys watch her. I think, again, Khaki introduced me to, or kind of put Hannah Louise Poston on my personal radar. Sorry, so bad. I'm using the little Tarte Seashells cream bronzer, which has not remained stuck in its compact. That's a real joy. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of Hannah Louise Poston, and I believe it was in 2018. Don't quote me on that. But she did a no-buy, and she did like a whole series on her YouTube channel about this no-buy and kind of like her beauty budget. I'm less interested in like the beauty budget, but more so interested in the no-buy itself and like kind of the reasoning behind the no-buy. She did a whole year. I'm not gonna start with a year, I'm gonna start with a summer because as I said, I don't like to do like New Year's resolutions. I don't like to set myself up for like this overwhelming like annual kind of goal. It's too much for me personally. So I thought that I would start with the no buy summer and the bad bitch summer, which is apparently going to be me that's two different colors all over my body. The whole idea behind the no buy for me and Hannah Louise is like to get my shopping habit under control, and like specifically the shopping monster who like rears its ugly head when I'm feeling particularly like emotionally triggered. And it's just also a way for me to like reframe how I exist in the world and how I exist as a consumer in the world. And we've kind of talked about that a little bit as well, like more conscious consuming, which I talk about and I'm not very good at practicing for myself all of the time. I'm working on it, but I think kind of enforcing this no buy will help me put that into actual practice and not just, you know, lip service, because I don't like lip service. Who does? I'm gonna be using this Lily Lolo bronzer in Montego Bay for my eyeshadow. And I think, like I said, my personal shopping monster, shopping demon, however you want to call it, is very much triggered by like emotional states. And, you know, whether that's like feelings of anxiety or frustration or sadness, depression, loneliness, like you name it, any state of emotion other than like actual happiness can trigger like the desire to shop. And by that standard, it's probably obvious that I'm not actually shopping out of necessity. Like obviously I buy things when I need them, but predominantly in my problem categories, I shop as an emotional crutch. And you know, awareness is the first step. Acknowledgement and all of that is step one in solving the problem or whatever. And you know, similar to what I've spoken to you guys about, like when I play music, I rarely feel compelled to pick up my guitar when I'm happy. My creativity doesn't come out in full bloom when I'm feeling happy, which is like something else that I really would love to be able to reframe is, you know, all of these things that are perfectly normal, like we will always be consumers in the world one way or another, whether it's financially or just like taking from the earth. But I would like to reframe that, just basic consumption, but also my creativity in the way that I live, into being activated by states of being and states of emotion other than like anxiety and depression. Does that make sense? Am I managing to communicate coherent thoughts? Like I said, I want to kind of use this no buy summer as an opportunity to like relearn some things about myself, and I think I can accomplish that if Hannah Louise Poston is, you know, kind of the guinea pig. She made herself the guinea pig and put it on the internet for us. She has completely reframed her state of mind. She's completely kind of relearned how to be in the world. She has learned so much about herself. I really encourage you to go watch her channel. She's absolutely lovely. And as I'm waving my hands around, I remembered the point that I wanted to mention about her specifically is I watch her videos and like, she's always just so relaxed and beautiful. But I also love her hands. She's just got these like elegant long fingers, and I just sit there and watch her. I'm like, oh damn, I wish that that was me. But no, instead I have little hobbit hands. I arrived on this planet as a hobbit, and that's my lot in life. Next, I am going to go in with clearly my new favorite, which is the Nude by Nature Absolutely Filthy. This is the color 07 Sunset, so it's the warmer one. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll go in with 02 Stone, because the face is already, we've got a lot of warmth going on. So I kind of want to just cool that down and just like add a different kind of definition to the lower lash line here. So lesson learned, I have been using just like one really healthy drop of that tinted serum. 2 clearly deposits a lot more pigment onto my face, which is not the right shade for me right now. So like I was just overly enthused and not trying to give myself a fake tan. I mean, it's pretty close to my hands, but that's because my hands are one of the only other body parts that are out in the sun all of the time. Like when I'm on my bike, I do sunscreen them, but That's the body part getting all the sun, you know? Okay, took that too far. This eye look could just go so south. So as I was saying, I keep looking over here because once again, I wrote down my thoughts. So yeah, the whole point of this, you know, launching this no buy, throwing my debit card away, I mean, not actually, but like trying to actively forget my credit card or my debit card. I don't use my credit card, my debit card numbers, because I've memorized them, and that's a dangerous thing, because if I'm online shopping, you don't need to have your physical card with you. You just need to know the numbers. And when you are a shopper, like I'm a shopper, that's bad.
That's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
So I did do like a soft launch of my no buy on Monday. And again, I'm focusing on like 2 specific categories in my personal life. And I've drawn up a set of parameters, as Hannah Louise posted kind of advises, like, you are the one that defines your no buy. No one else is responsible. You set up your own parameters, your own set of rules for like what you want your no buy to look like. And I've already identified my problem areas. I've already been using kind of like a budgeting spreadsheet over the past 1.5 years now. So I visually see where the problem is. Even before I could visually see it, I knew where the problem was, and that is clothing and then makeup / skincare, which I kind of just lump into one category. The soft launch was Monday, and we are officially launching it today. And I am publicizing that to you guys because hopefully all 18 of you and whoever else is going to tune in, I'm hoping you will help to keep me accountable for this no buy. And as I said, I have developed a kind of like a set of rules, you know, a framework for myself for how this no buy is going to work. And so I've got 6 rules that I've sketched out, and I'll read those to you now. So again, keep in mind that my triggers are emotional. It is like retail therapy at its finest, or perhaps worst. So that kind of ties into my set of rules here. So rule 1, if you're sad, do squats or sing. So this is me trying to like redirect that energy, channel those emotions into something else. And the alliteration in that is intentional. It's, you know, to help me kind of remember it. And it just makes it fun. So if you're sad, do squats or sing, don't shop, is the subtext there. Rule 2, if, again, with keeping with the alliteration to make it a little bit more playful but also memorable, if you're frustrated, do something fun and or funny. Seems pretty simple, seems pretty straightforward, but again, just trying to redirect myself, redirect that energy, redirect those emotions into something a little bit, hopefully, more productive. And then the sub bullet there is basically, if you're stressed out or anxious, do something soothing or an activity that achieves awareness and appreciation. Again, with the alliteration. Rule 3, no shopping for makeup or skincare unless you actually run out of a specific item. This is so important, and this is something that, like, in the back of my mind, I have been desperately wanting to do probably for the last year, but I think vocalizing it, and again, like, asking you guys to help keep me accountable will help keep me accountable and like actually make that a reality for me, you know, manifest destiny. And literally outside of maybe like toothpaste or shampoo, I should actually not need, oh, and contact solution, I should not need to buy anything new in either of those 2 realms. And that's a really interesting way to like start off your YouTube career. If that's what I'm trying to do, is like, you know, after a couple of months, institute a no buy. It's so challenging in this landscape when you love beauty and skincare as much as I do, especially in the green space, green beauty and cruelty-free space, where there's like so much coming out on the market. There's literally a new launch in the makeup world in general and the beauty world in general, literally like every 5 seconds. And so all of a sudden, like, instituting a no buy in the midst of all of that can be really overwhelming, and like I'm probably going to get some major FOMO, but ultimately, I don't need anything else. I'm not actually here to like review the latest products for you. I'm just here to be here, to hang out with people, to find a like-minded community, to do beauty and coincide that with real conversations. Kind of that's the niche that I'm trying to shape, at least for now. So, you know, me having the latest and greatest in the beauty space is not really necessary. So if you guys get bored with like looks that I'm doing, you understood from day one, if you've been with me for that long, that like I am not a makeup artist. My talents in this space are very minimal anyway. So like, I don't think you're coming here for like gorgeous, really creative makeup looks. Maybe we'll get there one day together as I continue to play, but that's not really the intention here. So I think that's okay. It's going to be really challenging, obviously, because I'm also a consumer of YouTube and I follow beauty influencers and skinfluencers and like all of that. So I'm going to be constantly inundated with the new products. It's just, you know, again, challenging those very specific emotional triggers and understanding, like setting that very firm ground rule for myself that you do not buy anything unless you need an actual replacement. Okay, rule number 4, similar to rule number 3, no shopping for clothing unless you actually need a replacement. i.e., unless your undies are literally threadbare. And you know, I think that's pretty reasonable. Apparently you're only supposed to keep your underwear for like 6 months. But I will wear my underwear until they start threading up and losing their elastics. And at that point they go in the laundry and then they go into textile recycling. And I feel okay about that. But the whole goal here is to not buy any new undies or new anything, because I literally do not need any more clothes. If you know me, you have witnessed my closets. I don't need any more clothes. So let's just take a deep breath, because this is just stressing me out talking about it. No new makeup and skincare and no new clothing unless you actually genuinely need a replacement. Okay? Okay. Rule number 5, unsubscribe from triggering mailing lists. This is something that Hannah Louise Poston also discussed, and something that she personally didn't necessarily feel the need to do, which is totally fair, but I do not trust my willpower all of the time. Sorry, Skincare by Hiram, I think your new line is absolutely incredible, but I do not need the updates and the emails every time you're dropping a new product. You know, like I don't need Aritzia to keep reminding me about sales and new drops. My willpower battery is really tiny, especially if I'm feeling emotionally vulnerable or lonely or sad or whatever. And like I have depression and anxiety, diagnosed or otherwise, and it's like it's a finite resource, folks. Finite resource. And that's okay. It's okay. I'm only human, but I also am now acknowledging and just, you know, setting those boundaries for myself. We're bringing back last year's word. Okay, last rule. And again, this is just a sketch, so I might develop more rules for myself as the summer goes on, but we'll see. If you've got something in a shopping cart, try putting the same total dollar amount into your savings. What a great idea. Great idea, Alanna. Let's see if I can actually do that and like watch my savings grow. Now, I'm actually at a place in my life where I've got a really nice savings account, and that's something that I actually worked on really hard last year. And there's a bunch of factors that kind of made that happen for me, but I would really like to see that grow. And because of my, you know, shopping habits, it just hasn't grown at the pace I would like it to. So, you know, that's another potential benefit. Okay. I don't hate where this is at. Usually I'm not really loving like eyes and things, but I guess just because it's like bronzy, it works. Time for the black eyeliner, which I'm like, I have butterflies about. I have 4 black eyeliners in my collection. All happen to be Annabelle. So I'll swatch them really quickly on the back of my hand here so you can see. So we've got the Annabelle Smooth Liner, waterproof and long lasting. Obviously I always end up using waterproof liners and then have such a hard time washing my face. This is the color Metal Days. And it definitely has a sheen to it. It's because it's like metal, obviously has more of a like silver tone to it. Then we have, this one is my favorite because of the name, the Annabelle Smudge Liner. And oh my gosh, Huh, I love that so much. So this one has the little smudgy on the end. I've been using these eyeliner pencils literally since high school. So that's well over a decade. That's number 2. It is obviously a black. Definitely a nice like kind of satin matte finish. Then we have the Annabelle Skinny Gel eyeliner in Black Onyx. Not a huge fan of this kind of pencil. I really just like a standard like eyeliner in the wooden pencil. Very like teeny tiny tip there. Ooh, that just broke off. That's gonna leave a hideous smudge on the ground. This is a really like intense black. So that's the nice thing about that, is that like is a very like rich black. And then the last one is the Annabelle Kohl eyeliner in just 73 black/noir. And this one, I don't think I've ever used this one literally except to do a swatch. This one definitely has, it's more of like a soft black. I don't really know if you're going to be able to tell. It's definitely like the mattest out of them all. And I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Oh My Goth. I don't really feel like the shimmer on metal days, but Oh My Goth. How many times am I gonna say Oh My Goth? Oh my goth! This is the one that's just really speaking to me. All right, she is sharpened, like truly nervous because I'm not that great at eyeliner and this could just go horribly, horribly wrong. Why did I decide to do black eyeliner? Okay, so back to my no-buy. One of the things that I really appreciated about the way that Hannah Louise posted was kind of talking about the no-buy and her experience with the no-buy was that it's like a muscle that you're activating and you're engaging every single time that you make the decision not to buy something. So I'm gonna call it the no knee-jerk reaction shopping muscle. I'm strengthening this muscle against the shopping monster. And like every other muscle or skill, that is something that needs to be exercised and something that needs to be conditioned and strengthened. You don't all of a sudden just wake up magically one morning with a perfectly toned bicep. As much as we would all love that, or like perfectly toned, sculpted abs. No, it takes work. You have to work out those muscles. So, you know, I'm not just going to wake up tomorrow with a perfectly toned and strengthened no shopping muscle and just be free of my desire to, or like compulsion to shop. Nope. Nope, it's something that I'm actively going to have to be working out. And I appreciate that because it actually turns it into an action. It's not a passive thing. It's an active decision every day, just like working out or doing any kind of exercise or like just any kind of mind expansion, any kind of education. You know, you're actively engaging and you're making a decision. And I appreciate that because it holds you're holding yourself accountable every time that you take that action. So nothing in our lives should be passive. We are not victims of everything. There's so much that is within our control, and shopping is totally within my control, or rather not shopping. I have just used it as an emotional crutch for such a long time that it's now this like kind of addiction and habit that I need to break free of. Anyways, I'm gonna do my eyeliner, but I need to concentrate. So we're gonna zoom through this. Okay, I don't hate that as this eye, just a very like gentle, not too long little black wing there. Wow, I did it. Okay, I feel like that took me a long time. So when you next see me, I'm just gonna go away and do the other eye, catch that eye up, put on my mascara, which I'm on it. I'm on the Bite Beauty train officially. Upswing, you got me, girl. Now that you're a little dried out and crusty. Yes. So I'm gonna put my mascara on too because we've already seen that, and I will see you back here in a quick second, your time, once both of my eyes are complete. Okay, we're back. Eyes are done. I don't think it looks that much different from the eyes I did last week. But, you know, baby steps. I really like it. I literally never wear black eyeliner. I think I'm just kind of afraid of it because it feels so much more bold than a brown eyeliner, especially the way that I've been doing it, which is not liner, it's just like shadow on the lash line. But I like it, and like I didn't obviously do like a huge dramatic wing. If I was actually going out on a date, let's just put my cute, if I was going on a date like this, just with my bangs all up there, something about Mary, like this is a makeup that I would like to do on a date, especially like a nighttime date if you're going out to like a bar. Yeah, I like this. I'm into it. I really am into it. So now we gotta do blush. I have a couple options here, and I just took the eyeliner off my hand and I'm gonna swatch again because that's the kind of mood we're in. So I've only showed this to you once. I have never used it on camera. Don't know that I'm gonna use it on camera today, but we'll see. This is the Bite Beauty Daycation Whipped Blush. You know, remember the one that looks like a teeny weeny. This is the color Hibiscus Slush. This is definitely something I will not repurchase. I can tell you that right now. The formula is cool. The color is lovely. Not a huge fan of the application, at least on me. And the common complaint is the packaging, not just because it looks very phallic, but because it's just stupid. It's really difficult to squeeze the product out of here, and there's going to be so much product trapped in like this section up here that you'll just never be able to get out, literally, unless you cut this thing open. So, you know, again, we're going to give Bite some props for like trying to innovate. It's not the smartest way. It should have been A/B tested in a select market group first, I think, before it actually hit the public market, because I don't think there's a lot of people that would have been like, this is so easy to use. No. Anyways, that's the color. Very purpley. It's got this really gorgeous sheen in it. I may have fared better with like the Watermelon Slush or the other peachy tone one. There's like a kind of bronze color. I just really am into like purples. We know this, but it's a hard color for me to actually pull off. The other product is Kosas in 8th Muse High Intensity. This has made an appearance on my channel before, I believe. In my glow video, I use this. I love this color. It's very similar in color, actually, just without that like really almost violent sheen that the Bite has. It's just beautiful. I really, really do love this. Again, I've said this about the Kosas Cream and Light palettes before. I wish that it was like 2 blushes because I don't use highlight. Would love if this was 2 blushes though. Like if they packaged 8th Muse with Velvet Melon, perfect. Anyways, then I have my beloved Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in Ballet Slippers, which I have been wearing a lot. This is really that perfect like sunburnt color. What do you guys think? Answer me. Can you give me an answer? What should the cheeks be like today? You know what? I'm kind of feeling 8th Muse. Sorry, Bite. Another one bites the dust. I'm happy with that color. I don't know if it's popping as much on camera as it is in person, but it's pretty. It's just a pretty color. We might add some more after. You know what? That might have actually been a bad decision because of the like orangey bronze tone on my eyes, but we have bangs for that. Who cares? Who cares? That just means that lip has to be neutral. Wouldn't you agree? And I did bring out some lips. One of those being the Glossier Ultra Lip. I have 2. I've been wearing them. Obviously, I haven't used them on camera yet, but I've been wearing them during the day. This is Vesper, and I also got Coupe, which is the like really orange one. Obviously, these are the 2 colors I go for and everything. Super pretty. Not quite the formula I was expecting. Did I say this last week when I was using that Uma Beauty lipstick? I was expecting that formula in this. It's still quite lovely. Maybe I'll just dot a little on and see. I can always wipe it off if it's too much. I mean, I'm just dabbing. I'm not doing full pigment, like a full pigment swipe, but that's a pretty color. I do like it. Okay, I'm really happy with this look. I might add just a teeny tiny bit more blush. I'm definitely gonna powder a little bit. So quickly, before we wrap up what is I'm sure going to be another long ass video, I just wanna go back to the no buy and kind of just briefly touch on the fact that like I find talking about spending money, especially what I like to spend money on, very awkward. Maybe a lot of us find money awkward. Money conversations are always very awkward, probably because there is so much wealth disparity, even amongst friends sometimes. I know that in my friend groups, like, we do not all come from the same class. I definitely grew up in like a much lower class than quite a number of my friends, just socioeconomically speaking. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't really care, but like money can be very awkward and a very difficult conversation, as can spending. And when you're talking about your spending habits, especially those that are perceived as like poor spending habits, it can be very challenging and awkward to talk about because there's so much judgment associated with it. And not everyone is the same. Not everyone should be expected to be the same. Not everybody should be expected to have achieved like perfect, excellent wealth management. It's such an unrealistic mentality, first of all. And like, wealth isn't everything, at least not financial wealth. I know that's the way our whole system is shaped, but that's not really the point. I mean, we always kind of go back there, don't we? We always kind of go back to socio-political dynamics on my channel. But in this specific context, when we are talking about personal spending habits and the way I spend money and my overspending specifically in the categories of makeup / skincare and clothing, I find myself surrounded by a lot of judgment, whether that is actually communicated to me by like friends or family, or whether that is judgment coming from myself. Internal judgment. And often that internal judgment is like my anticipation of other people's judgment and this like constant need to people please and like be perfect to everyone else. So many issues, guys. So many issues. But it's also, yeah, so my judgment comes from my fear of like how other people might judge me. And then I like have this internal battle with myself that's like, well, it's your money that you work really hard for. Like, you've worked really hard to get here, to earn this salary, to have this kind of spending capability. You should spend your money however you damn well please. Like, you're not in debt. You're still saving every single month. You're managing to pay all of your bills. You haven't gone into overdraft for like over a year. Spend your money however you want. All of those things are true and perfectly valid. But like that fear of judgment and that self-judgment and that like guilt when I am spending my money, even if I am perfectly validated in that purchase, it's just, you know, when something is not right. When you buy something that you actually need, like when I bought this camera, I don't regret that decision at all because it's changed the quality of my video. It's made me happy. It's you know, an investment in something that I'm really passionate about right now. There shouldn't be any regrets there, but you know, like impulse purchases or like purchases when you're in some sort of like scarcity mentality, there's a lot of regret there and just like, I shouldn't have. Oh, I really shouldn't have. So it's those places, again, in those very two specific categories, triggered by my specific emotional states that all can use some adjustments and some changes. And I hope that this kind of no buy summer will begin to address the like root cause of that, will give me some pause, will help me exercise that nuance we were talking about last week a little bit better. And like maybe my listless depression will be channeled into different things other than like spending. Maybe my loneliness will be channeled into some different things. You know, it happened to me today. I got an email that was really triggering, and this is going to sound really, really stupid, but Taylor Swift announced that the next album she is re-releasing is like Taylor's version is Red, and I believe I've discussed this before, maybe in my first blog. Red kind of became the soundtrack for this like really, really challenging period in my life. And so like seeing her announce that she's going to, I'm like actually going to start crying now. It's so stupid. I mean, it's not stupid. I should not undermine my own feelings. But her announcing that she's going to re-release this album was like really triggering for me. And then getting the specific email that I got, and like everything's fine. It just, the triggers are related. And then I was just sitting there being like, the one thing that could like fix this feeling instantly, just momentarily, would be like to buy something, which is not, I don't need anything. I didn't need anything today. I didn't need to buy anything today. So this was at the end of the day that this like thing got re-triggered for me. So I just kind of closed the email, I closed my computer, and I just grabbed my iPad and just like went and lie down in bed and like watched the new episode of this show that I'm really enjoying right now. And I'm getting like very emotional because it's a very specific trigger for me, and like maybe I'll get into that at some point when I feel comfortable discussing it, but it's things like that, you know, maybe they're not expected triggers. I mean, are triggers ever expected? I don't think so. But you know, there's other more healthy, more productive ways that I can be engaging with and like reacting to those things, or maybe learning not to be so reactive. And all of these things are going to be encompassed by my no buy summer. And then in parallel to my bad bitch summer, and like, let's completely switch the mood there and not cry on camera. I have my second vaccine booked for next week, which means like 2 weeks following that, I can start seeing people, and like maybe a date by the end of the summer is possible. And again, like theoretically, I'm psyched. I'm so excited for the possibility. In practice, I'm shitting bricks a little because, you know, being vulnerable with new people is like completely terrifying to me. And like, your girl comes with a lot of stuff, a lot of baggage. I now am demanding a lot of space and the right to take up a lot of space. I'm a very specific cup of tea, you know, like Darjeeling. I can't find that shit anywhere, but think of me as a cup of Darjeeling tea. Not everybody's gonna like it, and that's totally okay. I like Darjeeling. I love Darjeeling. I was love a fucking cup of Darjeeling tea. So that's kind of how I'm gonna be entering that space. So again, theoretically, super excited. Probably the most sex I'm gonna have this year is in The Sims. That's okay too. But the whole point is we're going to enter a bad bitch summer. We're going to look hot, or, you know, cute, whatever, because I really am more in like the cute zone. And that's okay. I'm totally fine with being cute. Bad bitch summer, no buy summer. Those things are going to be existing in parallel, in tandem, and I'm kind of really excited for that. This, as always, is going to be quite a multifaceted journey. And again, I hope you guys will help keep me accountable. I hope you will stick around for this journey with me over the next couple of months. If you do see any new products on my channel or like any new clothes, please know and like trust me that those are all things I have bought up until this week that just haven't yet arrived because shipping is absolutely still horrendous in this current landscape. I will show you the receipts if you have questions. I think what some of this is going to accomplish is the realization that there's actually so much abundance in my life. I don't have to operate in this like weird space of like scarcity. I will maybe shift to operating in a space of abundance. And I'm excited for that. And obviously maybe my savings account will become more abundant if we are thinking in only the material way, in only the like monetary, economic way. But I'm sure there will be other ways in which I will discover and become more aware of the abundance in my own life. Here's hoping. All right, guys, I think that is everything for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know there are only still 18 of you here, but your support, your presence absolutely means the world to me. If you are new here, I definitely encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can keep having a fun, cute time with us. If you liked any part of this video, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up too. And, you know, added bonus, hit the notification bell, because who doesn't need more notifications in their life? But we can always guarantee that a notification about my new video means, again, a fun, cute time. All right, I'm gonna head off, guys, go take some cute pics, and I will be sure to see you in the next one. Bye. And I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye.